your first time learning a skill, in this case, particularly learning how to drive a car. Now, I wasn't one of those kids that were like ready as soon as I turned 16 to get out there and drive a car. I really didn't care. But growing up in LA, it's definitely a skill you need to learn how to do. So basically, you had to first do a written test to prove that you knew the rules of the road, but then you had to do 10 hours of driving with an instructor. Now, prior to taking driving school, we only really took me out to drive around the neighborhood. It was pretty low traffic and relatively low stress. My first session in driving school was anything but. So one afternoon, I was just waiting outside, waiting for the instructor to arrive. When he arrived, got into the car, he's like, all right, cool, so we're gonna drive out into the main street. I let him know immediately, hey, just letting you know, this is my first time truly driving anywhere, so if you take me onto main streets, I've not actually done that before. He told me, it's okay, don't worry, we're not gonna do anything too crazy. That was a lie. Now, if you have ever driven around in LA, you'll know that the residents' tempers are short and their driving methods are aggressive. And here I am, a brand new driver trying to stick directly to the rules of the road. And people were not having that. I can't tell you how many times the instructor said, look at this fucking asshole. Oh, that was a time when curse words didn't come out of my mouth yet. Oh, my sweet summer child arc. Anyways, we're going for about an hour of driving. And it's starting to get closer to rush hour. Now, me personally, I thought, okay, he's gonna kind of keep me relatively close to home. He didn't. Driving out about a good 30 or so minutes, we landed on Van Nuys Boulevard. And for those who live in Los Angeles might be laughing their asses off right now. For those of you who don't know, Van Nuys Boulevard is anything but a new driver-friendly area. During rush hour, it is busy, and there's a whole bunch of side streets that come on. Remember, all the drivers here are very aggressive. And there's a bunch of weird intersections that come on in that if you're like, oh, go straight, if the instructor tells you go straight, actually, what he's asking you to do is kind of veer left. Going technically straight is turning right. It's confusing, there's a lot of drivers, and they're all honking at you if you don't immediately gun it off the line. I am so glad to not be there anymore. But this is where I was going on my first real true driving outing. And I knew the area, so I knew we were approaching Van Nuys Boulevard. And I asked him, are you sure you want to go this? I am brand new to this. The amount of fucks he gave. I remember him saying, it's pretty light right now. It was bumper to bumper. And again, for LA, that's about right. It's pretty light. Now, bumper to bumper, not too bad. Just go straight. Just keep going straight. You'll be fine. Yeah, he wanted me to get over a whole bunch of times. It was like, hey, be a nuisance. I want you to go from the left lane to the right lane, turn right, go back onto Van Nuys Boulevard, keep it into the left lane, and then turn right at the next light. He was basically playing Stress This Guy Out Simulator. But I did get through it, and I only got honked at a couple times, and we didn't get into any accidents. After using Van Nuys Boulevard as a playground for about 15 minutes, we then drove off to the next guy's house where he took over the wheel, and then I sat in the back. You know what's more stressful than learning to drive on Van Nuys Boulevard? Being in the back seat of a car with someone else who is learning how to drive Van Nuys Boulevard. Luckily, while he was a student driver like me, he had been driving a lot more, and he was towards the end of his lessons. So it really wasn't actually that scary at all. Of course, he didn't get to go through the pacers like I did. The instructor just said, go straight. Basically, it dropped me off 30 minutes down the line. And pretty much after that point, it felt easier. So when you think about it, it was kind of one of those throw them into the deep end and watch them swim. And it worked. I consider myself a defensive driver, and overall I say I do a pretty good job. So by any chance you're out there watching, I appreciate you teaching me how to drive. I'm doing okay still. No accidents so far, knock on wood. And yeah, that was me learning how to drive. Like and subscribe if you want me to keep making these videos, okay? Okay, bye.